Hey guys, we just went weekly, but also we didn't make this one other announcement that we're now an eating ass exclusive podcast, talking about the joys and the ins and outs of eating ins and outs.
Everybody, and welcome back once again to Spiritual Successor, a video game design podcast inspired by Polygon's Cool Games, Inc. I'm your host, AJ Hart.
And I am your other host, Blake Rea.
Now, Blake Rea.
Yes.
Last week we had a small medical emergency.
I wouldn't define it as small, but...
You had a whole situation where half of your face was numb. And you came in, you recorded the episode anyway because you were an absolute champ.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went to the hospital, and which was great on you, but we found out that you had a medical issue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not cerebral palsy, which is when your brain gets all twisted up, and so half your face becomes droopy.
Mm-hmm.
You have what I believe you told me is Ball's palsy, which is one of your nuts got twisted up, and now you're half frowning all the time.
This was your opening bit? This is your opening fucking bit that's going to make fun of my very serious medical condition? You're an asshole, dude. For those concerned, I have Bell's palsy, so that means half of my face is a little, I can't use it. So if my voice sounds like I'm slapping Play-Doh, please excuse me this one episode. It should be better by the next episode.
Perfect. Yeah, so your condition isn't like horrible or anything. You're going to heal totally fine. You got medicine and all that.
Yeah, dude.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm alive.
I do want to say really quick, though, that once you told me about that you had Bell's palsy, I immediately had to look it up. Have you ever Google searched images for Bell's palsy?
Yeah, their faces look like half of their faces melted like the Ark of the Covenant guys from Indiana Jones.
Okay. It's interesting that you had that because you know what happens to me when I looked up Bell's palsy?
Oh, no.
I just see a bunch of pictures of Angelina Jolie.
What? Did she have Bell's palsy?
Angelina Jolie.
That is the weird...
Angelina Jolie.
Why does Angelina Jolie...
Angelina Jolie. It's like...
I feel like she has to have it if she's coming up that much.
I believe the issue was that she had it one time, and so now the internet is like, oh my god!
She's become the poster girl for Bell's palsy. Yeah. All right. Enough of this half-faced jackass shit.
Yeah, that's not what we do here. What we do here on Spiritual Successor...
We talk about eating ass on a regular basis. We're a comedy video game design podcast where we take your submissions from Reddit, Twitter, and email and turn them into fully fledged AAA games. AJ, do you want to do an opening pitch, or am I going to do an opening pitch?
I'll start off with an opener, unless you have one ready.
No, you go ahead, because...
This one comes again to us from Koichi Hustle Those Buns at Skeleton Jock. Skeleton Jock submitted video game where you have to speak at funerals for different people you don't know and make it sound believable that you knew them.
Okay, so is this like a Telltale game?
I think that this is maybe like an RPG game where like your choices...
You can get better at lying. You can do you can get skills that allow you to be a better asshole.
Yeah,
at
you
funerals.
can get skills. You can get that up and grow in like lies and improv, and I guess that's still lying, isn't it? And so the idea is that you have to go up to a funeral home, and it's like, oh, John.
Oh, you got to do it like those fake those I don't know what to call them, but like the people who say they're spiritual. It's like, I can talk to your dead. You're that. You're trying. That's the
like a medium.
You're a medium. You're
at a funeral.
You're like what's his face from Mob Psycho. You're a fake medium that's going around trying to collect money at funerals.
That's a very interesting direction. I love the idea of like still having to go up and tell lies about someone that's like dead, and like you're like, oh, I remember me and John grew up together in the playground. Me and John and his best friend Kyle, and Kyle's like, I'm his brother. Yeah, and you were also his best friend.
He shows up somewhere. It's like, yeah, me and them used to like go on the playground whenever we were little kids. Oh, that's weird because he was, confined to his room because he was not able to touch, oxygen.
That's why he died.
Or he shows up, it's like, yeah, we used to play when we were kids. It's like, wait, he was 12 when he died, and you're a 40-year-old man.
We had so many good times. I remember his bachelor party. He died a virgin. I don't know if there's legs here. There's a lot of funny dialogue options, but I don't know if there's a game here. Do you have a submission?
I have one from Twitter, and this comes from Rock at Rock09. God, this name. Rock09296930. What about an FPS collectible card game? Instead of choosing a gun loadout, you make a deck of cards composed of cards such as Sniper Shot, Sword Slash, Jump Pad, Shotgun Shot, and Heal. I love this idea because it's like a trading card game. Imagine Call of Duty, but as a trading card game. So, like, you can do a thing. Oh, even better. You know, like Magic the Gathering Fridays, where the booster night Fridays or whatever?
Yeah.
So, at the beginning of the game, everybody gets a bunch of booster packs, and you take a card and you pass it, and then you have to make a game, or that game is about all of the random shit you guys got. So some people might not even have a usable deck.
Well, I think that what I think is noticeable about this isn't so much that, like, I don't know if it's collectible cards, because it sounds like all the cards are actions that you can do.
Yeah.
You take the action of a Sniper Shot. You take the action of a Sword Slash, a Jump Pad. And so I think that maybe it's more like an improvisational card game where, like, you're, like, talking with your friend about how you're going to kick his ass, but you can only play the cards in front of you. So I'm going to be like, I'm going to hit you with a Sniper Shot, or I'm going to hit down a Jump Pad, and then I'm going to use a Sniper Shot. And I play those two cards down. But then you play down
cover,
barrel, heal.
Okay.
So then you tell me that you did all those things, and it's almost like we're doing an improv
so it's
1v1,
it's like,
but we're limited to the cards that we have in our hand.
It's like fucking, what's it called? Superfight. When you get that one extra card, be like, this is going to be the thing that's going to change the game.
Yeah.
And then you have to, I like that. What if you introduced, like, a sort of judging thing? Because actually, no, it's a little bit more straightforward.
No, I like the idea of there being a judge. So, like, one person has to be the judge, and then it's a 3-player card game. So 2 players get to fight each other out when they get, like, 8 cards or so that they have to shuffle through. They play through it. We have one person that's the referee that says whether or not those actions can be done with those cards. And they're like, I agree, you do jump super high with the jump pad, but you can't say that you did a B-twist in the middle of it.
What if you...
Because you don't have the aerial maneuver card.
What if you did a thing? Because one thing I've always... Like, Superfight is great. It's a great game.
Yeah.
But the judges don't really get to have much fun.
What?
They're kind of just... Well, I mean, like, of course they're the judge, but I would love it if, like, the judge can... add things in the middle of the fight that can make it more complicated.
Okay.
So it could be like, say it's a game of 3 people.
Yeah.
And then, like, the 2 people are fighting, and then the third judge can just throw obstacles in the way that can make the game more like they have to fight for longer.
Oh, yeah, like the referee is able to be like, everybody runs out of ammo, but you get to draw 3 new cards.
Ooh, that'd be so cool, because then it could change the game completely.
Exactly.
So, like, okay, so everybody draws... How about this? So at the beginning of the game, the 2 players that are fighting draw 3 cards, and the judge gets to draw 2. So they are much more limited in what they can do, and maybe they draw from a special deck.
They have a judge deck.
They have a judge deck that could be like just throwing random shit in it that could just like make the game like.
Shit, I want this to be more than just 1v1 gunfights, though.
Okay.
Now this idea of like an improv story card based game is so cool to me.
Okay, what would you want to add to something like that?
I would love to do like a whole fucking like D&D fantasy-esque thing like that.
Oh, you do it like Warhammer. Like everybody can have special decks.
Yeah.
So like certain like say, oh fuck, that's so cool. So you take like the colors of magic and you do that, but they're like specific kind of fighters.
They're classes.
Yeah, so like you can have like the orc deck, which primarily uses like catapults and swords, and their machinery is a little bit older. Or you can do a thing where you have a sci-fi, cyberpunk.
Yeah, you have
deck.
a cyberpunk deck, and that has stuff like hack, drone, gun.
Oh, I'm so fucking. This is like a physical card game, right?
Yes, this is a physical card game,
God,
and you can go out and like we'll release stacks of decks, and they'll be like, hey guys, we're doing a fantasy expansion. This is where you can come get your orc bard deck, your rogue elf deck, and your so-and-so deck. And then like 2 years down the road, we'll be like, hey guys, we're doing a sci-fi expansion. Come get your 2077, your Blade Runner, and your
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
Metropolis
is cyberpunk. That's kind of what started the cyberpunk genre.
We'll do 3 decks that are in those veins, and all the cards in those are actions that characters could take in those universes. Damn it, this is cool.
I adore that. All right, give me a pitch.
I'm going to put a pin in this.
Yeah, I want to put a pin in this.
I have a submission from Noah at December Hunting. Department of Gardevoirs. A Pokemon Snap style spin-off. You're a Game Freak employee using VR, and you use equipment like baggy basketball shorts, wigs, etc. to prevent Game Freak from releasing horny designs before it's too late.
See, that's an impossible task because they will always come.
It is an impossible task, but I definitely think that it's possible, and I'm almost curious if it's already happened.
Really?
And my case in point is Scrafty.
Scrafty?
Yeah, he's the Pokemon that's got the big pants around his ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Little known fact, if you hack the game a little bit and you set pants to none, Scrafty has like a 9-inch ding-dong that's rocking hard at all times.
That's what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if you set pants to none, he has a rocking hard 9-inch ding-dong, and that's why he has sweatpants on, and then he has to hold up all the time. Because originally the character model was just holding the ding-dong.
Okay, now I know you're lying. I couldn't tell at first, and I was confused. It was just like, what the? No.
And so it's legit. And so originally he just was holding his ding dong the whole time. So they had to bring somebody in that had to set pants on him, so he was holding the pants instead of his ding dong.
Okay, so how would this game work? So you just like you're gonna be at the funnel of the internet. Where all the images are being sent, and you have to like be like, no, that's a horny image. No.
Yeah. Like somebody at Pokemon for the new generation was like, oh, we're gonna do a female-looking Pokemon that is cream.
That's cream?
It's cream. It's a cream girl.
You mean a slime girl?
Nope. It's made of cream. Its name is like La Creme, and it's made to look like a girl. Anyway, you know that a couple designs of that were horny as hell. And so you're in charge and you're like, no, I need this to look more like a cake, less like a girl immediately because this is going to break so bad.
I mean, like, you know what's the weirdest thing with Pokemon? I've always felt like half of the community is the like, I want to bang the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think anybody talks about that. Like, I think Nintendo knows. Like, the moment they release anything, it's like, oh, you're telling me they didn't know when they announced the new gym, no, not the gym leader, but the best player in, the tan muscle.
Oh, shit, the new champion?
Yeah, the new champion.
New champion's so good looking.
Yeah, and you're telling me they didn't know everybody on the internet was going to get thirsty as fuck.
But we're not talking about the guys or the girls. You're totally allowed to get horny for a gym leader.
Okay.
I have a problem with the fact that nobody QC Lopunny. Lopunny exists, and nobody at Pokemon was like, hey guys,
it's a little horny.
Maybe this is a little bit horny for us.
It's so weird that it went from, like, the little baby adorable rabbit to, oh, hey, that's like an almost naked lady.
Yeah. And so I think that they need to give us a VR game where our whole goal is to just make sure that these Pokemon don't continue coming out hornier. And they're like, oh, check it out. A new Routes evolution. This one's even taller and hornier than the last one. And you're like, no, he's wearing a jacket.
Wait a second. I think there's an amazing game here. You ever play Job Simulator?
Yes.
The VR game.
Yeah.
So basically, I think it would be super funny if you're standing at a desk and there are just actual fan art from the internet images of Pokemon that come onto your desk and you have to stamp, like, approve or disapprove.
I think that...
And you have to, like, go onto your computer and do, like, a basic Photoshop thing of dragging pants on top of them.
I don't want it to be like Papers, Please, like, approve, disapprove. I think that what it is you're working in a costume shop. And a Pokemon will come in and it's like, check it out, Mewtwo's balls out. And you're like, no. And so you have to go hunt down.
You just get a cod piece.
Like a cod piece or a tunic. Well, that's the whole thing. That's why Mewtwo with this cool mech suit has a cod piece. Because originally his balls were just out there. So you have
what the fuck is wrong with this, dude? This is so weird.
This is...
I mean, like, horny allowed. Pokemon horny allowed. But This is weird.
I think it's important that we do a game where you try to de-horny Pokemon. Or at least make sure that Game Freak doesn't do anything. Like, maybe Game Freak comes out and they're like, Mew 3 boobies. What's up? And you're like, no, absolutely not. We're putting Mewtwo 3 in a dress.
Okay, put a pin in this. I think it's fun. Again, sorry.
We did just do a Pokemon game like 2 weeks ago, so I don't know if we're allowed to do this.
I mean, like, Pokemon's cool. All right, I got one for you.
All right.
This one comes to us from Twitter. Again, sorry everybody about my mouth. It is a little bit difficult. It should be better by next week.
They're gonna get used to it.
Yeah, no, I hope. I'm not used to it. This one comes to us from Kenzie on Twitter. How about an extreme Tic Tac Toe JRPG style game?
This is very good because, like, I love the idea of like. Every battle that couldn't happen in this game. Like, MMOs are, like, full, expansive, and there's lots of little critters going around. Mm-hmm. But in order for you to kill the bunny rabbit, you do have to beat it in Tic-Tac-Toe.
So, it's a beautiful, like, Final Fantasy 15 style world where you can go around and interact with this whole world that operates off of Tic-Tac-Toe battles.
Yes.
Oh, my fucking God, that's adorable.
And I actually do want to, while we're on the topic of this, I love this idea. I want to combine it with an idea that was also given to us on Twitter.
Oh shit, right on.
This comes from user Brooke Wilson at Guileless Argon. Mm-hmm. Brooke submits alchemy game with increasingly complex recipes and requests. Unlock new ingredients, tools, methods, etc. as you complete requests. Perform research for recipes or just throw stuff together. Mm-hmm. So I think that it is a tic-tac-toe based combat system, mm-hmm. but all of the RPG elements and all of the, like, everything else in the game revolves back to alchemy. So everybody looks like an alchemist with, like, carrying cool. vials and books and stuff. Mm-hmm. And you can, like, you have to go through and, like, grind a bunch so that you can get a new potion. And if you drink this potion while you're playing tic-tac-toe, you'll add another row on one of the sides.
Oh my fucking God. You know what would be so cool about this? So, like, anytime you make a complete slash, your character slashes with a sword.
Yeah!
So that's how you do damage. So it's like multiple games of tic-tac-toe. But, like, with all the vials and shit, getting a tic-tac-toe doesn't take as long of a time as it does in real fucking life.
Yeah, because if you have more speed than the enemy, then maybe you get to go 2 times.
Oh, shit!
Like, oh, your speed is double the rabbit.
You know what would be
You're
so
going to
cool?
be able to put 2 X's down before the rabbit can put their second. Oh.
So bigger attacks basically use bigger tic-tac-toe scales. So, you know, it's like 3 by 3 by 3?
Yeah.
By the end of the game, it's 10 by 10 by 10.
Yes.
And you do these amazing big slashes of, like, anytime you get, like, a big fucking, like, connection of X's. And that's how you do damage and shit.
Yes. And I think that, like, you can even still do support roles, right? Like, you can have a support tic-tac-toe alchemist that their whole thing is that they can slow down the enemy. Ooh. And I also wonder if we want to deal with slowdowns, maybe it's a timer-based tic-tac-toe game. It's not turns. It's like the whole system where, like, you get to put next down and then you just wait for your turn. That's why when you increase your speed, we can actually gamify that a little bit, and your speed doesn't have to be twice that of the other one. It's just like, even if your speed is a little bit better than the other one, you're going to be able to make your turns faster.
Oh, fuck, that's so cool, actually. You can also do a thing where, like, maybe each player is versing a computer.
I think that there's PvP and PvE. Like, there's a whole story mode about us going out into this world, Manifest Destiny style, and, like, exploring
you were the chosen
and gaining
one.
more.
You have the X birthmark on your chest.
Yeah. And so, like, you go out and, like, there's plenty of world to explore as you conquer this continent. But then there is a PvP system. I don't know what that would be. Maybe the PvP system is just X's versus O's, and you pick your alignment.
Oh shit! Like the alignments from World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Or maybe there's other shapes. So maybe there's X's, O's, triangles, and squares.
Oh, and
damn it! Sony's gonna sue us now.
I mean, like, this is a Sony exclusive. What are you talking about?
Okay, cool. Yeah, we made that deal.
They contacted us to make this game. They make JRPGs, I guess. You know, like that Nier game that kind of was not good.
Yeah, but I want this to be like, hey, fuck you, Nier's so good. I will come to blows with you on this podcast.
AJ,
I want this to be an MMO, though.
I need to tell the story, though. AJ lent me that game because he was so excited for me to play it, because he thought, you know, being my best friend, he's like, I know you'll love this game. Because
it's a good game.
This game's amazing. And I play it, and I was just I was so bored out
Blake
of
was
my
like,
mind.
oh, a beat 'em up, stylish combat, pretty girls. Ah. That's what you sound like.
Word for word, yeah. And then I just gave it back to him.
Unfinished. You didn't even finish one playthrough. Ridiculous.
Okay, continue your pitch, please.
This isn't a single player game like Nier. This is an MMO like Final Fantasy XIV, like World of Warcraft. Like, this is a huge world that you're constantly exploring around in, and it's all alchemy based. I think that like the classes then could be just like different forms of alchemy. Like, oh, this is like a brewing alchemist. This is like
so fucking cool.
Like a Full Metal Brotherhood, like a transmutation-esque alchemist. This is an alchemist that I don't know a lot about alchemy now that I'm thinking about it and pitching this.
Alchemy is just science with bigger goals. Like turning.
Okay, so then maybe there's like an astrologist alchemist.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so studies like stars and shit, and all their powers are like space themed and meteor themed.
And then there's an alchemist that's like they're into physics, so they're just like a really, really big buff person. Because they're like, check this out. If I pick something up really big and drop it, it falls good.
I got buffed just so I can show my students the laws of gravity. All right.
This is cool. I want to put a pin in this one also.
Yeah. We got a lot of pin. God, we
got two pins this
So
time.
many submissions this week, and it's freaking amazing.
Do you want to try to do some lightning round stuff and just burn through a couple funny ones?
Sure. I got one I can do.
All right.
This one comes from us, signed Erica at Takeoff. Huge shout out to her because they gave us like another 5. They've just been like loading on us with all this crap, and it's awesome. Co-op multiplayer game where you all play black and white model tanks and planes on strings to fight Godzilla. I adore this game. You know why?
Why?
Because I feel like this can be the next game that the makers of Toy Soldiers, Small Soldiers. It's like that tower defense game where it's like the War of 1912, and then they did another one where it's like all 1980s themed action figure toys. I feel like they could do an amazing fucking game where it's just you are fighting all the monsters, like the giant ass monsters of cinema, and that fucking makes me so
I
excited.
see what you mean. So this is like still like a good action game.
Yeah.
It's just that like the aesthetic is that you're all paper toys.
Yeah, you're all paper toys.
That's very cute.
On strings fighting Godzilla. And you know what's even crazy? We mocap Godzilla to where it's just a guy in a suit, so it looks like the original Godzilla movies.
Okay, that's awesome.
I'm so excited about
Erica
that.
had a couple other funny ones that I wanted to look at.
Okay, go ahead.
Such as root beer tapper, but it's real booze, and the patrons tell you their horrifying life stories as you play.
Hold on. If I'm going to make one adjustment to that, it's still, I don't want it to be booze, because I love the aesthetic of people going in and drinking their sorrows with soda. It's
like the Codename Kid Next Door episode when number 2 went to the base and he's like, get me a root beer. And he drinks the root beer really aggressively.
Or it's like regular show where they get drunk off of buffalo wings and soda pop.
Okay, but they do share way too personal stories. Like, you give them a root beer and they're like, my parents are getting divorced because my dad's been cheating on my mom for 20 years. And you're like, cool. Another one's like, I killed a man in cold blood. Gulp, gulp, gulp.
A man tried stealing my root beer once. I drank the rest of it and shoved the bottle down his throat.
I have problems getting my jiggy on because of erectile dysfunction. And you're like, I'm just giving you like a Dr. Pepper. I'm not a certified doctor. Don't tell me these things.
A person comes and says, hey, can I get a root beer? And you come back half an hour later, not a sip drinking. And they look at you, it's like, why haven't you drank anything? Oh, I just miss the taste. I can't drink because I have Bell's palsy. Side note, Bell's palsy, you can't taste. It sucks ass.
Punished Aqua at Aqua Punished submitted a couple. An AR game starring Steve Urkel.
I'm not familiar enough with Steve Urkel other than the Key and Peele short, where he has dangerous telekinetic powers and makes a dude shoot himself.
I haven't seen a lot of Family Matters, but I believe that Steve Urkel has that power anyway. Here's the thing. Not to bash on Key and Peele. I already know the funny gag that they do at the end. The guy kills himself, and everyone's like, oh, and Steve Urkel goes, did I do that?
That was okay. Now you're doing more annoying things in your mouth than I am. No, I think that was like the joke in the middle of the short, and then the ending of it was like he just walks away after making a dude hold a gun to his head.
Okay, cool.
It's really dark.
Thanks for the root beer. Steve Urkel made me almost shoot myself to death.
Jesus Christ.
Punished Aqua also submitted, and this one made me angry to see, a Family Guy top-down JRPG. Now, Punished Aqua...
Yeah, you famously hate Family Guy.
I hate Family Guy.
It sucks because
so
there's some actual good comedy in it. Other than, like the early 2000s, very homophobic, very not kosher in that sense. But like they've been trying to be better about it. I think because they got a new writing team on it, which is kind of cool.
I think I just hate everything Seth MacFarlane touches.
I mean, like apparently the Orville's really good.
I'm not gonna watch it.
I mean, like...
Because American Dad, very bad. Family Guy, not great. The Cleveland Show, let's be real here, horribly racist.
Oh my god. I mean, like...
Ted, don't even get me started.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Ted 2 exists, and that alone is a crime.
Ooh.
Fuck, I hate Seth MacFarlane. Anyway, check out this cool JRPG. You get to play as Stewie Griffin, and all your superpowers are that you make horrible homophobic jokes that are like, no, I'm gay, so it's okay. You play as the dog, and everything's shitty, and you're like a drunk. You play as Meg, and I think that everybody's just mean to you because, like, domestic harassment's cool. God,
The more you describe it, Family Guy does kind of just handle shit really bad. Okay, I want to give you a better a game.
Sorry for my
Family
Guy.
Sorry about that, man. Please, thank you for your submissions. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
We don't mean to shit on you.
I don't. If you like Family Guy, it's totally fine. I just can't get into it.
I have another one from assigned to Erica at Takeoff. Kerbal's Space Program, amazing game, but for the early Industrial Revolution, assemble huge machines and watch them mulch tiny chibi Victorian orphans.
Okay.
I like this because it's you're playing like some vampire race or something, right? Something where they eat humans.
Yeah.
And you have to, but you're also an inventor, so you have to like make amazing mechanical inventions that just go through the town and scoop them up.
Now hold on. In Kerbal Space Program, I thought the idea was that you wanted to make the little Kerballs live.
Yes.
Okay, so wouldn't you want the orphans to live and you accidentally murder them?
No, I like the idea of farming orphans.
Okay, cool.
Well, the thing with Kerbal Space Program is most of them die.
Yeah.
Because that's just...
So we'll just lean into it.
how the game works. But, like, picture this. So it's like you're playing Dracula from Castlevania.
Okay.
And, you know, you have a thirst for invention. And you want to be like... But you also don't want to leave your castle because you're getting kind of old and lazy.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to invent a bunch of different little machines that are just going to collect things for me. So they can start collecting scrap, they can start collecting people for food, but you have to balance it because if you start making too many mechanizations,
if you make
like,
too
it
many,
draws too much attention to the city and the hunters will come and get you.
Yeah, if you make too many street cleaners that scoop up kids off the street and turn them into Slurpees, then... then the demon hunters are going to be like, hey, wait a minute.
Wait, that brings up into an amazing idea of, like...
Blake, choose your next words wisely because I just said turning orphans into Slurpees, so...
So a vampire runs a 7-Eleven. It's in the world of True Blood, and he's like, I want to make some vampire Slurpees. But I don't know how to do it, so I gotta make robots to collect me some Slurpee fluid.
Okay, so it's Dracula running the oldest 7-Eleven,
the original Victorian 7-Eleven, and he's like, all of his food is from like the local. Like,
it's the Industrial Revolution Slurpee.
Did they have ice in the Industrial Revolution? I don't know. Okay, I really like this game.
Check out my cool... And you can make, like, train systems, right? Because, like, I think that because you're Dracula, you're also spearheading the Industrial Revolution.
Oh, so you're
and
like
so,
the... You're like the... Oh, you know what'd be so good?
What's that?
So maybe you're not the maybe you're not the 7-Eleven owner, but you are a monopoly owner where you own a lot of the businesses in the area, and you're trying to make all of them functional for the underground vampire people living in the city. So you have to, like, collect resources from the town itself, but you don't... Oh my god, what if it's like a survival game where, like, you have to balance how many days you can last? Because you can just, like, kill everybody in the first day.
Yeah, you can make 8 street cleaners.
Yeah, and then you find out, this city can't support itself anymore. So you need to find a flow to where you don't overuse your resources, but you collect enough to keep you going.
I've not played Kerbal Space Program.
Kerbal Space Program.
How easy would it be to add this into Kerbal Space Program?
Incredibly not.
Okay, cool.
Because Kerbal Space Program, I think the only comparisons that we should make here is the level of design on the robots.
Yeah.
Because Kerbal Space Program is...
You use the words robots liberally. Can we change the term to mechanisms?
Mechanisms? Or, no, automatons.
Okay, automatons is a good word.
That's Industrial Revolution's lingo.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, okay.
It's,
I think that the issue is that you make, like, trains, like dollies, and if you fluck up, then you accidentally end up with street cleaners, and I don't think that the goal is street cleaners.
It's like a city management game,
yeah.
But also you have to handle the social shit.
Part like Kerbal Space Program, part weighing, murdering versus efficient.
Well, also you have to deal with, like, other vampires that just come up and be like, I'm tired of your shit. I want to kill everybody because I'm hungry. I don't want to deal with this whole, like, automated process shit.
Tell you what, you don't want to pay money. I get that. I'm going to rework my train system so that I can deliver a cart full of doodles to you and your whole base. And then you won't go murdering the streets making sweat for me.
And then you have to, like, build the train system.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so fucking cool.
But again, still, don't murder too many kids because if you do, then Van Helsing is going to come after you.
So wait, what is our currency in this game? Is it just blood?
Blood. Well, I think there's 2 currencies. There's blood currency, which you'll get on accident mostly, and then there's
soul currency. So you have.
Well, I was thinking just normal ass money.
No. Okay, it's actually three currencies.
Okay.
Blood, which can be like a lot of the food and what powers. Maybe not powers your vehicles or whatever. The souls, you have to have 1 soul from a person or a certain amount of souls to create the soul for your automaton.
Oh, okay.
So you have to collect 100 kid souls.
Yeah.
We'll be able to make a full-length train.
You'll do murder, which will cause blood. Enough, if you're lucky enough murder will cause soul fragments to show up.
And you have
Once
to build,
you have enough
to build soul collectors too, which are like lampposts. So if, like, anybody dies in the vicinity of that lamppost,
you get a soul.
It gets sucked in there, and you collect that soul.
Hell yeah!
And then money is used for like the physical things, like building buildings or
like you have enough money to make
stuff.
A bridge that will transform so that a boat can get through it.
But that boat is powered by
It's going to take
souls.
a lot of souls to make that go.
Oh my fucking god, this is such a cool game, actually. I'm so fucking into this. Okay, fuck it. I want to make this our nugget.
You want this to be the nugget?
Yeah, I want this to be the nugget. Because it's morbid, and it's different than anything else we've ever made.
Let's go ahead and scrub through and see if we can get some more chuckles out of these.
You want to get a chuckle? Yeah. All right.
I got one on the Reddit. This will be fun. User the opposite of decent submits. Cheers. Death on Tap. A romantic visual novel about zombies attacking the bar from Cheers. Hey, Blake.
I have never watched
Cheers.
Tell me
everything you know about Cheers.
I know nothing about Cheers. I know that Fargo... No, not Fargo. I'm a fucking...
No, it's Fargo now.
No, it's not Fargo. It's, that there was a spin-off of that where it followed the one character,
Fargo.
No, not
And
Fargo.
he went to another country and he tried to save me.
It wasn't Fargo, you ass. It was... Oh, man, I don't remember the name of it.
Well, the good news is we have a little bit of a blurb here that we can play off of. Play as Sam and help your friends survive the zombie horde. Who will you romance? Diane? Norm? It's up to you. Just make sure they aren't carrying the zombie virus. Possible taglines. Where everybody digs your grave. Where everybody screams in pain. Where everybody gnaws your brain.
Oh, Frasier. Frasier, that's the name of the spinoff.
Okay. Wait, Frasier was a spinoff of Cheers?
Yes!
Wow.
Yeah.
I have one more info blurb that we can dig into. The extent of what I know about Cheers is that there's a bar and a neurotic therapist with a talk show and a cool dog was involved. So we're going to go ahead and assign these where we want. I think that the neurotic therapist is absolutely...
That's Frasier.
Well, that's Sam. I think that you
Sam?
get to play as the neurotic therapist.
Okay.
Who owns the bar. And maybe owning a bar and being a therapist is a conflict of interests.
He also hosts, if I remember correctly, he also hosts a radio show.
Yeah, a talk show. I think that the talk show is hosted by Norm.
So we're just ignoring all of the actual canon.
I'm using everything at my disposal currently to figure out what this game would be. And if you're not with me, you're against me. A cool dog was involved, and I think that's Diane. So we have Sam the neurotic therapist, Norm the talk show host, and Diane the cool dog.
You have any legs on this? Because I have no idea where the fuck to go with that. Because all I'm just picturing is the Shaun of the Dead bar fight scene, and it's just one game, and there's a dog. It's just like a little crappy thrown together thing you put on Steam.
Now hear me out. There's one more tagline we can go off with this, where everybody gnaws your brain. I think that implies that the dog, Diane, is a huge part of this game because she gnaws because she's a dog.
She's a zombie dog.
Yeah.
They're trying to find the cure for their dog.
We figured out the whole game. No, I don't think you're trying to find a cure for the dog because there's a line in here of, who will you romance? It's up to you. Just make sure they aren't carrying the zombie virus. And we know that the only two people you can possibly romance are Diane and Norm.
Okay, don't romance the dog.
Well, that's the thing. Gnaws your brain. The dog, Diane, does in fact have the zombie virus.
AJ, this sentence you're saying is over. I'm not into it.
All right, I got another submission if you're willing to hear me out still.
Depending. Go ahead.
This submission comes from the Reddit. It's from user LegalSky89696, and it's titled A Black and White Dog, and it's just a photo of a dog. There's no game here. I just like this photo.
That is a good photo. You should post that on Twitter.
I don't know who the artist is. I can't post it on Twitter.
Go to the Cool Games and Credit. It's a pretty doggo. All right. I want to go back to Vampire Automaton.
Okay.
All right. So
Kerbal Industrial Revolution.
Dude, ever since doing the titles of the last episode, I made a little note in our last Twitter post. It's like, I hate doing the long titles right now because it's just oh god, anytime I needed to write the name of the title, I always had to refer to the Pinecast account and be like, oh, what did I call this thing? Because it was just a pain in the ass. Okay,
it's all chuckles and fucks until we get to the point where we have to do work.
Yeah. We have to do art and shit like that. Oh,
the art that you did, by the way, for the last episode had me fucking dying.
You like Shirtless Galactus?
Shirtless Galactus is so good.
On a side note, before we go back to Vampire Automaton, I got a little scarred making that post.
Oh, yeah?
Because I was I initially typed up, I mistook Galactus for Thanos.
Okay, so you looked up Shirtless Thanos.
I looked up Shirtless Thanos, and I just saw literally a full portrait naked thing, photoreal of Thanos, but it cuts off right at his pubic hair.
Okay.
And it's just oh, that's uncomfortable. And then I decided to stare at it for another 30 minutes while I put it into my official art. And if you look in the right corner, you can see Shirtless Thanos.
Now, here's my question that you now have extensive knowledge.
Yeah.
Does it look like Thanos manscapes?
No, he's a hairy boy.
Really?
Yeah, if you look at it...
You would have thought that a man based on destroying half of all things would have done a little bit of manscaping.
You feel like the chaotic nature of destroying the universe is dependent on if they shave their nuts or not?
No, I'm just saying that if he's obsessed...
That's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I'm just saying, if you have big aspirations, you need to be able to take care of the little things. Or the big things. I don't know what Thanos is packing.
What the fuck?
So, let's go ahead and move on back to the vampire game.
Okay. I want to talk about what are the businesses you're managing and what is the end goal. Where are you starting and where do you end? This traveling...
What's the goal in Kerbal Space Program?
To get as far as you can into space.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe it's just
maybe
a game.
We're still trying to go to space. Well, you just start a little bit further back.
Oh my god. Okay. at the beginning of the game, you're a lone inventor, and you hear tales of a planet out in space that's full of just untouched children.
You don't need to downsell him, by the way. It's Dracula. You can just say you're a lone Dracula.
No, how about this? We're going to go with the cool one. It's Alucard.
Okay, sure.
So Alucard hears this tale of a planet in the far-off space that's full of just untouched blood and souls, and he wants to collect it.
Okay.
But before he can get there, he has to build the best possible city to raise funds to get his space program up and running.
Okay.
So you have to survive, like, maybe it's, like, because I love the idea that the game can end prematurely if you fuck up.
Yeah.
I love, like, say this project is going to take 1 year, so you have to survive 365 days. Think of it like Don't Starve. You have to, like, it starts off in spring, and each season has different worries that you have to have.
I think
so blood slurpees are not going to be popular in winter, so you need to find a new way to generate income.
I think that one thing that's worth noting is I want us to have, as the player, the ability to progress the day. Because it's a project-based game, and you, like Kerbal Space Program, you're building the spaceships, right?
Yeah.
Which means that on this game, you're the one that's going to be building the dolly system, the bridges, the workshops that are going to make the boots, and definitely not slurp up some children that work there. So you have to build all of those. So I want to make sure that you're not set on a timer. You're set up like with days. And when you finish a project, you can do that project in the day, but you won't gain resources from it until the end of the day.
Yeah, until you press complete. You know, it'd be so cool. Like at the beginning of every day, you get a newspaper that tells you what's going on in the city. So like depending on what you build, you can see how it's affecting the world. And it can be like, some of the newspapers will like praise you for like industrial inventor modernizing our city and building wonderful transport systems. And then a side note, kids also going missing recently.
Fire breaks out in shoe factory. It's weird that a fire broke out in the middle of winter. Delicious warm blood. Just saying, hot cocoa. Well,
boiled blood. That's what they serve in winter instead of Slurpees.
So when winter comes around, and you know, like you're like, if I build a fire in one of my factories and burn it to the ground, I will get so much warm blood. And then you have to do like a cost benefit analysis and be like, am I going to terminate one of these buildings?
Oh, fuck. That's so crazy. Because then you would have to do like, doing this will give me 50 gallons of warm blood. Yeah. So then you have to figure out, okay, what happens if I don't sell all of that before winter's end? Yeah. So then you have just a bunch of excessive amount of useless material. So you have to like judge how much, just like in real life, you have to judge like what's going to be the certain demand for this item. And like the more you play the game, you can see the demand for certain things depending on your city. Because like maybe certain cities will have certain cravings.
Yeah, like you'll have to build a full economy out of this. I want to talk about the look really quick.
I'm picturing very Tim Burton-y.
I'm imagining just Kerbals. And Kerbals come in adult-sized or orphan-sized.
The Kerbals look all the same in the Kerbal Space Program.
I know, but these ones are different because they come in 2 sizes.
You just take the head and you just stretch it so the body's just really thin.
Yeah.
It looks like you just took this small Kerbal and stretched it upward.
Yeah. And those are the 2 kinds of Kerbals. And I think that what's important about them being different sizes like that and different shapes is the fact that, like, because you're building all these mechanisms, you're having a lot more moving pieces. So maybe the big ones won't slip up. Or maybe the big ones will be the ones that slip up and get caught by a workshop gear.
So I don't know. I'm picturing this to be very Don't Starve looking, where it looks like ink drawing.
I think it definitely needs to be 3D rendered because you're building projects.
You have a good point, actually.
At the core of this game, like, don't get me wrong, there's all sorts of exciting resource management stuff. We've already done a resource management game with The Last Car Sale, or whatever we called that game. So this is a 3D model project building game where you have to efficiently create workshops without killing too many kids, but still maybe killing a couple kids. Just the right amount of killing.
Yeah, you have to make sure you can last 365 days.
Or however long it takes.
You also have to figure out a way to make this like a vacation spot too, to get more people in.
Yeah.
Because you can use up all of your resources before the 365 day. So you can run low, and depending on how low you're running, it also like will instigate maybe how many workers show up for work on that one day, or like there's going to be a bunch of outside stuff of like the the vampire gang.
What happens with the anti-vampire gangs? Like Van Helsing. What happens when Van Helsing is like, hey, There's like 200 people dying in this city a day. There have been too many trolley accidents.
I think it would be really cool, like, that you can see their influence spreading through the city. So, like, they come...
Oh, so it's not that Van Helsing's coming to kill you. It's that Van Helsing is like, hey, guys, don't come to this town.
I noticed there 50% of the people who work at this factory have gone missing. I have hired my own gang of people to watch this. So if you were to commit something there, you are more likely to be caught by Van Helsing.
Van Helsing is a journalist. So when you
get that's so fucking... Vampire Hunter journalist? Fuck yeah,
When
dude.
you get the newspaper at the beginning of the day, right? Because you hit next day, the night goes or whatever. You get the newspaper, and it's like whatever the headline is, and then off to the side there will be a journal entry done by Van Helsing.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so, like, he'll be reporting on
like
whatever,
his published diaries, like the Van Helsing diaries.
Yeah.
Where, like, he rents out a page. The front page is just what's going on in the city. The second page is the Van Helsing diaries.
It's all the stuff that you messed up.
It's all of that, but it'd be kind of cool to see at the beginning of the game. You can see how people treat him too. So, like, at the beginning of the game, vampires are non-existent. Like, nobody knows they exist, and he's just like, vampires exist, and everybody's like, yeah, shut up, kooky old man. And you see him rise to power in his own way.
Yeah, because
of defending the city.
If you didn't get that trolley to the vampires that were really, really greedy, so they could eat a whole trolley worth of people. If those people hit the town. Now Van Helsing has all sorts of evidence to support that, there's vampires out here, too.
Yeah, and eventually, like, the government can get involved. Like, they send official, like, soldiers to come hunt you down. And I think the end game is you don't want to leave any evidence that it tracks to you as Alucard. So, like, if he looks at it and he knows, oh, there's a lot of deaths happening at these places that are owned by Mr. Alucard, I wonder if there's a connection there. Let me go. And you might even have some brush things where, like, he actually comes to your office when you're in the middle of making something.
Oh, and we have like a little cinematic where he shows up. And I love the idea that he still looks like a Kerbal.
He's just a Kerbal in a trench coat.
He's like a Kerbal in a trench coat with a cigar, and he's like, Mr. Alucard. I don't know if they talk in gibberish, the Kerbals, but...
I don't know. I don't remember. God, I don't want to play that game so bad.
This game rocks.
This game is very cool.
But it is still, at the end of the day, like you're trying to build a rocket ship with industrial, steampunk, magic, fantasy, soul technology to shoot a rocket into space.
And that's kind of cool because that means your city, you can still succeed at the game if your city is not as successful as it could be.
Yeah.
So, like, you can still build a rocket ship.
You could just do a space race.
So you can still do, and like, oh, maybe there's like you could do a cool like multiplayer thing where it's kind of like Civilization, where two people are controlling the same city and they are trying to beat one another in their vampire space
hell
race.
Yeah.
So you can have like rival vampire gangs. You can also control like go destroy their factory for me.
What do we want to call this game? Are we ready? Are we ready for that?
I'm ready to figure it out.
All right, what do we want to call this game? We could just call it Kerbal Industrial Revolution.
No, I want to introduce the vampire thing.
All right.
Bloody Kerbal and Revolution.
Bloody Kerbal is cool. Maybe it's just Bloody Kerbal.
No, it's not really action-y. Let me think about it.
Maybe we keep... Here's an idea. We keep the vampire element totally secret. So people think it's like just a Kerbal Industrial Revolution game. And it's not until they're playing it that they're like, hey, that's weird. I have two factions here. Or two resources here that are spooky related, and also this game's way bloodier than the last one.
Let's call it bloody Kerbal.
No bloody, just Kerbal Industrial Program.
Kerbal Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, Kerbal Industrial Revolution. I'm ready. I'm good with that.
That's cool. Ready to go to patch notes?
I'm ready to go to patch notes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode again. I know that we maybe worried you guys last week. Blake's totally fine.
I'm feeling about 50%.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for all of your submissions. We got a lot this week, and it was really, really awesome. So thank you all so much.
This is like the first time we were able to do a lightning round, too.
Yeah.
Just to make sure we got to everything.
And we still didn't.
Yeah.
Like, there's still a bunch of submissions that we didn't get to, and that's really cool. And, like, I love seeing that support. It feels really amazing. So I just wanted to say thank you guys all so much.
Thank you. So where can they find us, AJ?
So if you guys do have any submissions you want to kick our way, you can find us on Twitter at SpiritualSuck. That's with 2 C's. You can send us an email submission at spiritualsuccessorpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can even go to the old Cool Games Inc. Reddit page.
We're still very active on there.
Yeah, we got a lot of submissions on there that we got to a couple, but not a lot of them. But again, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting us.
And also, if you guys know anybody that used to listen to the old Cool Games Inc. Podcast, please shoot this podcast their way. They might be into this. They might be into the same vein of thing, you know.
And even if they didn't listen to the old one, if you think that they might enjoy this, shoot it their way too.
Yeah, we'd really appreciate it. We've been growing pretty consistently, and we want to keep on getting bigger and bigger and do bigger and better things.
Yeah. And last but not least, if you guys could leave a review on iTunes, that'd be a huge help to us. We had one last week. That was really cool, and I'd love to see more of this. And then finally, I wanted to say that the song from the intro and outro is Cheap Shop by Anna Monoguchi, an excellent song from an excellent soundtrack for an excellent game. I'm your host, AJ Hart.
And I am your other host, Blake Rea, and this has been Spiritual Successor, a podcast about the ins and outs of eating ins and outs.
Shut up! No!